So if you're anything like me, you found yourself not so patiently waiting for the release of MaXXXine to get a conclusion to Ti West's X trilogy. So is this movie going to become your new obsession? Or is the X trilogy run out of juice? Hey, what's up everybody? It's Nick here from the Lost River Drive-In, and I'm coming to you live from the condo in South Carolina where I am currently at on vacation. But that was not going to stop me from going to see MaXXXine and then doing a review as soon as I got home from the movie. Now, if you guys haven't seen the movie, don't worry, no spoilers. I do not spoil a movie when it first comes out. I just want to give you guys my overall thoughts and tell you whether or not I think you should go see the film yourselves. So unless you've been living under a rock, you knew that MaXXXine was coming. This was going to be the final movie in the X trilogy as it was being billed. We had X, we had Pearl, and now we have MaXXXine. Well, then Ti West said maybe there's going to be a fourth movie. But as we know right now, the end of the trilogy. MaXXXine tells the story of Maxine Minx in 1985 moving to Los Angeles, where she is trying to pursue her dreams of becoming a movie star. Because, let's be honest, Maxine is a star. Well, her past comes back to haunt her, and it comes back to haunt her just as her career starts to take off. So, with MaXXXine, if you watch the trailers, the vibe you got from the trailers is exactly the vibe you get from this movie. This is not false marketing, false advertising. No, and if you liked those trailers and the vibe that they had, you're going to like this movie, I think. Also, it is not required viewing to have seen Pearl, but it is absolutely required viewing to have seen X. Now, the movie does do a good job of showing you flashbacks and giving you the information you're going to need if you haven't seen X, but I feel like in order to really enrich the experience, you've got to see X to see this movie. All the positives about MaXXXine are things that I expected going into it. First off, just like the two films before it, X being set in the 70s and Pearl being set in the 20s, this movie captures 1985 Los Angeles beautifully. You feel like you're there. It looks like it, it sounds like it. Everything about this movie is so 80s. The soundtrack is absolutely great. I love the way that Ti West used the camera in this movie. It is just, it really tells a story. It's like a character in and of itself, and I love that a lot. Mia Goth is great. She's absolutely great in this movie, as she has been in all the previous ones as well. But I will say, I don't feel like she got as much. And I say that because in X, I feel like she had a big moment at the end. I feel like she had a really big moment at the end of Pearl. She has a big moment here, but it just didn't carry as much weight. But that's not to say she's not great, because Mia is fantastic in this movie. The supporting cast is great too, and Kevin Bacon is a delightfully delicious bad guy. Like, I wouldn't even know if I'd say he's a bad guy, but like he's a scene stealer. Every time he's on screen, you're like, dude, Kevin Bacon still got it. I really liked him in this movie. He was chewing up the scenery. He was having a great time. There is a lot about this movie that going in, I was wondering how much it would tie into the Night Stalker, and I'm not going to really get into that, but I just want to say the use of bringing up the Night Stalker, as well as bringing up the Filthy 15, and what was happening in culture, you know, pop culture at that time, where in the 80s, everybody was coming for horror movies and metal music because it was the devil's work. It's really beautifully incorporated into this movie, and I think it only adds to the vibe and the aesthetic of MaXXXine. It's just great. Watching this movie, having been to Los Angeles a couple times myself, if you've been, it just feels so LA. It feels so Hollywood. The movie just does seem a lot bigger than the previous two. The money is on screen here. It looks great. There's some nice surprises in here. There's some nice twists. There's some good gore. And just like the previous two movies, it is a slow build. So if you liked those movies and you've come to expect that with Ti West, as you should have by now, this shouldn't surprise you at all. But if that's not really your thing, I'm just going to let you guys know it takes a while to get going. Finally, the movie embraces some of its like goofy, cheesy side. This is an 80s thriller mystery slasher movie. That's what it's supposed to be. And around that time, a lot of those movies were corny at times and kind of cheesy. There are moments in this movie where it fully leans into that. And I love Ti West for that. And Mia Goth is so perfect for that. She's game for that. It just works perfectly. And again, Kevin Bacon, he just chews up the scenery. As far as negatives for MaXXXine, I guess I can only really say that, like, the only thing I walked away from a little disappointed by was I feel like the third act reveal and whatnot, I kind of saw how that was going to play out ahead of time. I don't know if it was supposed to be this big mystery. The movie sells it as such, but I kind of saw it coming personally. And also, through the middle portions of this movie, some of the editing is a little disjointed. Like, it is a bit jarring at times. But that's a minor gripe. Because overall, I think that MaXXXine is a very worthy trilogy capper. It is my second favorite in the X trilogy. I would put it right after X. It still could not live up to X. I don't know if any movie is going to for a long time. But I told you guys from the beginning I would tell you whether or not you should go see MaXXXine. You should absolutely go see MaXXXine as soon as you can. And like I said, based off of the vibe and the tone of the trailers, you know what you're getting. And if you seemed game for that, you're going to be game for this movie. It looks great. The soundtrack is great. The setting is incredible. It transports you back to that place in time. The acting is great. It's just a bigger scale. It's great. It's a really, really, really great movie. I had a great time with MaXXXine. If I had to give it a rating, I'd give it 4.5 out of 5, and I would say this is a front row seat. Got to check it out as soon as possible. So, I want to hear down below what you guys thought of MaXXXine. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Have you not seen it? Are you excited? Please comment down below and let me know in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching this video. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This is Nick. I'm going to get back to relaxing now on vacation, so I'm pulling out.